वेलकम टू नॉलेज अपडेट चैनल। रिसेंटली बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन लिया रिगार्डिंग रिबेट 87A। 5 जुलाई 2024 के बाद में टैक्स यूटिलिटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट वाज नॉट अलाउइंग टू क्लेम rebate under section 87A for certain cases like short term capital gain। तो बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने डायरेक्ट किया गवर्नमेंट को कि यूटिलिटी शुड नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्ट and utility should allow the taxpayers to claim rebate। तो राइट नाउ गवर्नमेंट ने यूटिलिटी को अपडेट किया है। दैट मीन्स फॉर फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023-24 AY 24-25 इन केस अगर आपको न्यू रिजीम के अंदर रिबेट 87A में लिमिट कर दिया था यूटिलिटी ने, आप एलिजिबल थे बट आपको रिबेट 87A नहीं दिया बिकॉज ऑफ यूटिलिटी चेंज के कारण, तो आज आपके पास चांस है, अपॉर्चुनिटी है टू फाइल रिटर्न एज पर द अपडेटेड यूटिलिटी। तो ये जो वीडियो है आई हैव प्राइमरी कवर टू थिंग्स। फर्स्ट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज व्हाट इज कंट्रोवर्सी सो फार इन समरी, एंड सेकंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट ये जो चेंज हुआ है वो किसको बेनिफिशियल है और आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा। सो लेट अस हैव अ शॉर्ट वीडियो covering both these important points। First and foremost, let us have a quick understanding of the controversies so far। फाइनेंस एक्ट 2023 में देयर वाज वन अमेंडमेंट, और वो अमेंडमेंट में ऐसा था कि रिबेट 87A विल आल्सो बी अलाउड इन केस ऑफ अ न्यू रेजिम। सो फाइनेंशियल 2023-24 के जो रिटर्न्स थे जो फाइल करने आए, सो एवरी एसएससी हैज कंपेयर्ड द टैक्स payment or outgo based on old regime, new regime, by considering rebate 87A which is allowed in both regime, and thereafter filed returns. Up to 5th July, the utility was allowing to claim rebate 87A in new regime for all the cases which are similar line for with old regime. However, on 5th July, the government utility was updated, and in the updated utility, it was not allowing to claim rebate for certain specific situations like short term capital gain। इससे क्या हुआ कि काफी एसएससीज को टैक्स का पेमेंट बढ़ गया आफ्टर 5th जुलाई, and before 5th July there are assessees who have filed returns in old and new regime both, and in that new regime also it was allowed to claim rebate। So it's difficult to understand, digest that how it's possible कि एक ही साल में utility was allowing before 5th July and after 5th July was not allowing। Now that controversy goes on, and the representation was done from ICI, from Chamber of Commerce, for tax chambers across India। However, there is no circular, no expression, no clarification provided by government। However, the government has gone a step further, and a demand notice was issued for the assessees who have filed before 5th July 2024 and claiming rebate as per the law। Still, there was nothing was being done to give a reasoning why this was done. There's no change in law. The only utility was capturing and talking about these changes। So on 14th October 24, I have filed PIL, and it was represented by Advocate C. Rutuj Patel in Gujarat High Court, because this issue was common across India। There may be thousands of taxpayers who are affected by not giving them the new regime for all cases, and also a lot of taxpayers who have filed in new regime in utility and they received new demand notices and without any fault of any of taxpayers। However, this particular case was being even taken and fought by the senior advocate Shri Saurabh Soparkar sir in Gujarat High Court। In High Court, the judge mentioned that this is not the case where instead of PIL it should be filed by the affected petitioner। Senior advocate Shri Saurabh Soparkar fought very well, argued very well, saying that there are small taxpayers and thousands of taxpayers are affected. It is not possible that every taxpayer goes and file in the High Court or the file appeal। Therefore, on the understanding and discussions with the High Court judge, the PIL was withdrawn। Later on, the writ was filed by a particular affected petitioners, just to ensure that we can really fight for this case. On a similar line, the in a similar line, Chamber of Tax Consultant has filed the PIL in Bombay High Court, and in this case, the Bombay High Court has given an interim order on 28th December 2024, saying that the government tax utility should allow taxpayers to claim rebate. टैक्स यूटिलिटी कैन नॉट डिसाइड कि क्या रिबेट मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. सो इट वॉज डायरेक्टेड बाय बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट कि गवर्नमेंट शुड अपडेट एंड अलाउ द टैक्स पेयर्स टू claim utility, claim and tax rebates as per 87A under new regime also, and for that the extended timelines of 15 January 2025 at least should be provided. On a similar line, basis the interim order of High Court, right now the government has operated the utility which is allowing to claim tax rebate under section 87A even for new regime as it was done earlier. Now, the question which comes into picture is that still the final order of High Court is not available. It may come on 14 January, which is the date of next hearing. However, as per the interim order, 15 January was the last day, probable last day for claiming the rebate. In my view, this date may be extended to further. However, let us understand that what can be the recourse available, what are the options available for the assessees right now as per the Bombay High Court order, and as far as the tax rule is changed and updated by the government is concerned. Now, the questions which are generally being asked for so many times by various consultant taxpayers assessees, which includes first is that if in case the tax return is filed before 5th July in old regime, can now it switch to the new regime? If the tax return is filed after 5th July in old regime, why? Because I thought that new regime is not allowable, तो मैंने old regime में file किया. In case the tax return is filed after 5th July in new regime, but it was not allowing tax rebate claim, or tax return was filed before 5th July in new regime, however, the demand notices are issued. So these are the few questions and few scenarios which I feel are maybe applicable to a lot of assessees. So let us understand what can be the situation, what can be the action taken now. So rebate 87, I just try to divide these into various parts. That, for example, it was an old regime, right? And the return was filed before 5th July. See, before 5th July, understand that the old and new both were allowing rebate. So in case if you file before 5th July, then there is no point of saying that now I have to switch to the new regime, because you have your option to look at both the things. It is not the real like issue of the utility. So so then there is no point to revise the return if you file before 5th July in old regime. If you file in new regime before 5th July, right? In that case, what happens? That probably you may receive demand notice. If you file in new regime before 5th July, no demand is issued, nothing is done, nothing to worry, because you have already claimed the rebate. अगर आपने न्यू रिजीम में फाइल किया बिफोर 5th जुलाई में और आपको बाद में डिमांड नोटिस इशू हुआ है सेइंग कैलकुलेटिंग के आपको ज्यादा रिबेट मिल गया करके, तो उस केस में यस यू कैन file and update your return. You can revise the return by using the updated utility. So in that case, please use the option and file a return, revised return in this utility. In case if you have filed after 5th July in old regime, right? So probably you may say that चलो 5 जुलाई के बाद में जब मैंने यूटिलिटी देखा तो उसमें न्यू रिजीम वॉज नॉट अलाउड, तो मैंने क्या किया कि न्यू रिजीम में जो अलाउड था रिबेट में वो मैंने कंपेयर किया विद ओल्ड रिजीम, एंड देयरबाय आई गॉट बाय ओल्ड रिजीम. बट अगर मुझे न्यू रिजीम में पूरा रिबेट मिलता then I may have switched to the new regime. So इस केस में today your opportunity to revise the returns. आप आप अभी रिटर्न रिवाइज कर पाओगे एंड यू कैन क्लेम द टैक्स रिबेट एज इट इज अलाउड इन नॉर्मल केसेस. अगर आपने न्यू रिजीम रिटर्न फाइल किया है after 5th July 2024, then again you can revise the return and claim the rebate as allowed as per 5th July. So basically the solution here is that right now your opportunity to file return as per new regime and claiming the rebate as it is thought and it is allowed as per law 100% without any deductions, without any limitations, or without any issues of this is not allowed, that not allowed. So in my view, the most important thing, please look at in your cases whether you have claimed, whether you are able to claim the more more rebate because of the new regime, and as are you being restricted because of the utility. If answer is yes, if you are being restricted by utility, और अगर आपको डिमांड नोटिस इश्यू हुई है बिकॉज यू फाइल इन न्यू regime बिफोर 5th जुलाई, तो ये आपके पास बेसिकली ऑप्शन है. यूटिलिटी अभी अपडेट हो गई है और अभी यूटिलिटी जो है वो सही यूटिलिटी है एज पर द लॉ. सो अब नई यूटिलिटी में आप रिटर्न को रिवाइज करके जो टैक्स रिबेट पूरा जो एलिजिबल है एज पर द लॉ वो आप क्लेम कर सकते हो. So I hope that this is a very critical and very important thing for all of us. Let us take this opportunity because a lot of long period has been already gone this battle, because just look at the 5th July and today we are in the January and a lot of months have been lapsed, and then finally we are able to file and claim what we are eligible to get the rebate. So please use this opportunity and file the revised return, claim the rebate which you are allowed, which eligible to claim even in new regime. And any questions, any decision, please feel free to ask me. Thank you so much.